Hey everybody. So today I'm going to make chicken curry. I've made this dish before, but it has been a while. So I got a new variation that I'm going to try out and I'm going to walk you guys through it. So we're going to start off with our ingredients. I have my boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You can use chicken breasts, but I prefer thighs. They have a little bit more flavor and they don't dry out as much. I have my carrots, my scallions, green onions, however you call it. This is a yellow squash. It's optional. I'm using it, as you can see, it's starting to give on me a little bit, but I want to kind of get that going. I hate to waste it. I have some baby white potatoes. You can use Yukon Gold, baby Yukon Golds, baby reds, baby whites. You can use russet potatoes, whatever potatoes you prefer. I've got about maybe a pound, a pound and a half. I may or may not use all of these depending. I have my fresh thyme. You can either buy them in these little Carvac cases or you can grow your own. I had a thyme plant at one point, but kind of went by the wayside. I have my garlic. You can either use the already chopped or the whole cloves. I have both. You guys already know. I have, this is a little unconventional, but it's something that I like to use. It's sweet ginger. If you can't find sweet ginger, regular ginger will be fine. You need some either olive oil or canola oil. I have an olive oil canola oil blend. I have my curry powder, any brand will do. My medium yellow onion. My coconut milk, again, any brand will do. My low sodium chicken broth, you can either make your own, you can buy the store, but actually I have some in my freezer. I just thought about that. I may pull that out. If I do, I'll let you guys know. And I will let you all know how to make your own homemade chicken stock in case you want to do that as well. I have some smoked paprika. You can either use the smoked or the regular paprika. I have tomato paste. I have the basil, garlic, and oregano kind. I love that flavor. I have some dried shallots. You can either use the fresh ones as well. And I have my garlic powder. You guys know I hardly cook anything without garlic. And yes, it asks for fresh garlic, but I want to add a little garlic powder. And this is a little gem that I found. It's a basil and oregano garlic sea salt blend. I love this stuff. If you can't find this, the same ingredients will work just fine. This is why you don't see any salt on my counter, because I'm going to use this, and this has a little bit of salt in it as well. So now that you see the ingredients, I'm going to get everything prepped and ready for you. I will be back. So while you guys were gone, I chopped up my chicken thighs, as you can see, into semi bite-sized pieces. I may have put a little too much in the pan at the same time at one time, but I let it brown. You see how it's still getting there, but I wanted to get this part going because this does take a while, and I don't want to bore you with that. So once it starts to brown, and you don't have to have like a complete golden brown, because it's gonna simmer, and this is not one of those dishes where it has to be super crispy. So once I do that, and I kind of did a little bit of both. I did the medium white onion. I have a red onion, a quarter of a red onion that I had left over, some scallions, and fresh and dried shallots, like my butterfly honeybee bowl. Love these bowls. See, there's my butterflies, there's my honeybee. And we're going to stir this just a little bit, and I'm going to add my curry powder and my paprika, again in my other butterfly bowl. Love those bowls. We're going to stir this, and let this simmer for, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, this is after 5 minutes. Set 2 to 3, but let it cook a little bit longer. What I've just poured in was my coconut milk and my tomato paste. I kind of whisked the tomato paste in with the coconut milk, so it'll, you know, mix in better. I did forget to tell you though that some of those seasonings that I had sitting out, I kind of put those with a little bit of sea salt. I know I said I wasn't going to use any, but I use sea salt, which is a lot better for you. So I put the coconut milk and the tomato paste, and it's already, as you can see, already starting to look like that curry that we all love. Then I'm going to let this cook for about 2 minutes, which, you know, will be soon. It doesn't have to be an exact science, but you kind of want to let this stage cook in just a little bit. And you can cut the pieces of chicken smaller, bigger, you know, and like I said, you can use chicken thighs, breasts, whatever meat you choose. We like thighs here. But the chicken breast actually doesn't get dried out as much as you think because of all the other liquids. I would just, some of the steps I wouldn't cook as long if I'm using chicken breast, excuse me. So we have this here that's cooked for a little bit. Now I'm going to add my 2 cups of chicken broth, and you can make your own as well. I'm either going to put that information in the comments below, or when I come back for the final step, I can kind of give you guys a rundown on how to make your own. Today I decided to use a store-bought. I actually forgot that I made some and put it in the freezer, so I didn't have time to defrost it. So I want to make sure I defrost my chicken broth or stock all the way so I can get all the maximum flavor, especially for any seasons that I may have put. So we're going to have this like this. I'm going to adjust the seasoning if needed, and I'm going to turn this down to a medium low and cook it for about 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes, we're going to come back and I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. See you in a minute. So after about 15 minutes, I added in the potatoes. I let the chicken cook for 15 minutes. Now I'm going to add the squash and the carrots. Now the original recipe calls for bell pepper, and don't really care for that. Neither do the people in my house. So I did omit it. But you can add a red, green, even a yellow pepper. I'm gonna stir this up and let this cook until the potatoes are tender. I'll be back. Well, that you have the finished product. This is after another 15 minutes. Depending on the size you cut the potatoes and what kind of potatoes you use, it takes anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. Gonna scoop this up so you guys can get a good look at that. You can, if you don't really want to use potatoes, or if you don't have potatoes, then you can still make this dish. It's versatile. You can put this over rice, you can put it over noodles, but this is, like I said, my version of chicken curry. There's the traditional, non-traditional, and I kind of do in between both. I stick to kind of the traditional flavors, but a non-traditional way of cooking. But here is my version of chicken curry. I hope you guys enjoy, and as always, be blessed.